Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. There's a lot to talk about today. It's been a very good week after the three back-to-back wins. On the agenda today we have still an option for January. Lisandro Martinez is back. Very good news because Lisandro is one of our best players and is one of the players that plays with a lot of aggression, so it helps our team become uh, combative in games, and that's a very good news to know that Lisandro Martinez is back. Amorim has been nominated for Premier League Manager of the Month, Mbeume for Player of the Month, and there's been a Wilcox interview that's interesting. We are going to pick bits and pieces of that interview that show what the management is thinking about the team and what they're planning to do. The first bit of news is Lisandro Martinez was pictured in training. There was even a video that was posted by Man United about his return to training. He looks to be good. The way he's playing, he seems to be back. He can even play in the next game. So this is very good news. We have been waiting for Lisandro Martinez to be back. I feel in this game, our weakness has been at left centre back. So if we can have a left centre back of Martinez, then we have Delete and Euro. That can be a very good midfield defense. It can be a very good defense. Then we can push Shaw to left wing back. One of the problems that we have had in this team has been left wing back. Neither Dalot or Dogu has been good enough, and we know Shaw can be very good in that left wing back position. If he doesn't have that much of the defensive work to do and he can go forward, he's very good going forward, he's very good getting into midfield. So in the last game, you could tell Shaw was stepping up into midfield. He was even making the midfield, the numbers in midfield to get bigger. We had Bruno there, Casemiro, and Shaw was stepping in midfield. Even the lead was stepping in midfield. So it solves our midfield problem. The midfield problem that is there because both Casemiro and Bruno don't have the legs to cover a lot of distance. When you have defenders stepping into it, it can be a very good thing. And when Shaw is at left wing back, he can be able to step up. Also, Lisandro Martinez steps up well into the midfield positions when we are attacking. So it's a good thing to have Lisandro back. In terms of other news, we have also Stiller. He's a very good defender, a very good defensive midfielder from Stuttgart. He also plays as a center midfielder. He's been one of the players that we were linked with during the summer, and those links are not going away. According to Sky News, Manchester United are among the clubs interested in Angelo Stiller. Stuttgart's current price for Stiller is set at £43 million. So £43 million is something that they can be activated. It's something, okay, Stuttgart have an option to buy out the buy clause for 2 million and sell him for more, but there is rumors that he can go for up to 50 million. So when you look at 50 million, it's not such a hefty price that you can't pay in January. Stuttgart will be one of the teams fighting to get into the European positions, but it's not a case where they're not going to sell him. So it's something that Man United can tempt them with. 50 million in January, that's a good offer. It's a kind of player that money we can raise because there was also news that Napoli were willing to activate the buy option clause for Rasmus Højlund as soon as January. So that is the type of money that will be able to get a player like Stiller. You know, the way we have been buying players, we have been buying them on amortization. So we buy for a period of 4 or 5 years. So if you look at 50 million or 43 million pounds or 50 million euros, you are looking at 10 million euros per season that we can be paying off. So we also need to show we have 10 million in the books in order to buy him. So I think this is a deal we can be able to do with Stuttgart. It still remains to be seen if we are going to pursue it, but it's the kind of player we need. We need at the point we are, if we are in a position to fight for the European positions by December, we need to consider reinforcing the team. The team depth is something of worry. You could see the last game when we were at 3-0 and changed the team. When you make upwards of 3 substitution, the team is a different team altogether. They almost let Brighton back into the game. They scored 2 they could have drawn, and all the fears of Man United were realized again. So this team needs reinforcements, and the reinforcements can come in the form of Stiller, Anderson, Baliba, and Wharton. And since Baliba, Wharton, and Anderson are at a very high price, Stiller could be one of the best players that you can get at that 43 million pounds price. We talked about Ruben Amorim. Ruben Amorim has really kicked in his tenure. Is some you can see now what he wants with this team. We have won 3 games in a row. October was a very good month for Ruben Amorim. He started with a 2-0 win against Sunderland, then the 2-win win against Liverpool at Anfield, which is not an easy place to go and win. Then we had the 4-2 win at Brighton. So he's rightfully been nominated for manager of the month. There's voting going on. You can vote for him. in the Premier League website. So it's a good thing to see he gets the recognition that he needs. He's trying to build a team, and we can all see where the team is going. So hopefully we can continue this run against Nottingham Forest in the game to come. He was not the only one nominated. We also had Mbeumo. Mbeumo was nominated as the player of the month. Among the players nominated were Matty Cash from Aston Villa. We had Guimares from Newcastle, Haaland from Man City, Krupi from Bournemouth. There's Mbeumo from Man United. We have Mukiele from Sunderland. Sunderland just beat Chelsea just the other day 2-1. We also Thiago from Brentford. Brentford beat Liverpool, and we also have Julian Timber from Arsenal. So they are worthy players of this award. Mbeumo has had a good month. He scored against Sunderland. He scored against Liverpool within the first minute. He scored 2 goals and provided an assist, I think, against Brighton. So he has a good shout for the award. So he's also a player we should consider. I think he's one of the favorites to win the award. There are other players like Timber, looking at Arsenal, who won all their games in October with keeping clean sheet in all the games. Everyone here has a good shout. Hopefully Mbeumo can win it. It will do well for the confidence of the team when they see the awards, players are being nominated and winning the awards. It's something that tells Man United is in a good place right now, and it continues to shine in the way they perform, both for the management, for the team, and everything looks very good, very rosy for Man United at the moment. Among the things that we have had today was an interview. This was by Club Media. Jason Wilcox was interviewed, and one of the things about his satisfaction with the Manchester United currently said, "We know we have to do better. The players will never be satisfied. Ruben Amorim is the same. I am the same. We are always looking to improve. Everyone who works for Man United has to think like that." So it's a good thing to feel that the club always are not satisfied with where we are. They could be satisfied with 3 wins in a row, but they want better. They are not satisfied in the moment. They know we are doing well, but we need to do better. So that was a good quote. In other things, he was asked on the performances this season, and he says, "We were disappointed with our performance against Brentford, but in the other matches, we showed progress with some very good spells of play. We need to keep going like that and not get carried away." I also agree with this. You look at the performance against Arsenal, it was a very good performance, and if not for a goalkeeping error, we probably get out of that game with a draw, hopefully even with a win. If you look at that Cunha penalty that was not given, so that was a good performance. You look at Fulham, we had a very good spell at the first 15-20 minutes. We had around 4 good big chances that we didn't take. If we take our chances in that game, including the penalty that Bruno Fernandes did not convert, we win that game. You look at the game against Man City, we started so well. That game we started really well. And in fact, it was one of the cases where Luke Shaw had a nightmarish performance. Bainde also didn't have a good performance. But once we went behind, we didn't really push as much as we should have. We lost. It's one of the game we lost, but we had spells of play that we played really well in that game. The other game we lost was against Brentford. Like we say, the Brentford was the only disappointed performance. Yes, Bruno missed a penalty late on, but the performance in general against Brentford was so poor. It's one of the things that it's good to know that the management are noting such things. He was asked about the general mood at Manchester United, where he says, "We are very optimistic. We are on the right track. We have a clear plan. There will inevitably be obstacles, but it is important to stay calm. I see the intensity in training, how they train, the communication." So he's admitting that there's a change in Man United in terms of how people are relating with each other, how they are training in training. One of the things that you want in training is intensity, because the intensity in training is usually converted to intensity in games. And you have seen over the last 2-3 games, there's been a high level of intensity. All the players are playing together. One of the things why we have been able to win all those games is because we are playing as a team, not as individuals. You can look at a player like Mbeumo never stopped running the whole game, and he was rewarded with 2 goals. Sesko was rewarded with an assist. Cunha also had a goal. Casemiro had a goal and an assist. So the whole team is chipping in. It's not only one player. Bruno, in fact, he had one of his best games without providing an assist or a goal. So the whole team is moving together. And one of these things, I think it's about how the communication is in training. Ahmad was interviewed earlier in the week and said at first they didn't have a good partnership with Mbeumo, but they learned of each other. They are relating well in training. You can look at the dances that they were doing in the dressing room, also the dance they did for their celebration. So you look, when players are gelling together, they have chemistry with each other. You almost can predict the move of the other player without him being making it. You look at Bruno Fernandes in the third goal. He was able to look behind, looked at the run of to scan the area, look at the run of Mbeumo, and put off a very good dummy that let the ball pass in, and he broke the defense, and Mbeumo had just to shoot, and he shoot very well. So if you look at all those things, it points to a team that is playing together, a team that's communicating well and is intense in training. So that is one of the things that this week you look at the team and you can almost feel confident that going into the next game they'll put in a good performance. And when you have most good performances, you're going to win more games than you're going to lose. In terms of the team, Jason Wilcox was asked on the team. He said, "We know what we need to do. We know there are times to improve in the team regularly. We know what we need to do. We know there are things to improve the team regularly to compete for the Premier League and the Champions League. We need to invest in the team and recruit the right players. Talented players who can also handle the pressure and help the team progress. They must have the right character and bring something different to the team." This is something we have to conduct with Jason Wilcox and his team as the director of football, as the CEO Barada, and the team that is responsible for bringing in players. They have brought the players with the right character. You look at the character of Cunha, he never stops fighting. He's always there. He handles the pressure. He's asking the ball in pressure moments. That game against Liverpool was one of the games where you could tell Cunha had a performance to make. So he always even tried to beat even 5 players and got away with a free kick, and he was able to take off the pressure from the team. You look at Mbeumo never stopped running. His first touch is very good. He can handle the pressure. Sesko has been very good. He has adapted well to the Premier League. The other two were in the Premier League, so they understood the Premier League, but Sesko has also come in. He has adapted very well to the team. You look at Sen Lamens, he's the right character. He's not first by being a goalkeeper, never having played in the Premier League again. So I think they are going to invest in the team, and if they invest in the team with the same type of players that the 4 they brought in this time, you look at this team, it needs a left wing back, it needs 1 more centre back, it needs 2 midfielders, hopefully a striker to compete with Sesko. So if we can invest 4 or 5 players with the same character, the same mentality, then Man United will be back to competing very well at the top of the league. So that is encouraging to feel that the team behind the recruitment is thinking about how can they improve the team, how can they change this Man United team to be a competitive team for both the Premier League and the Champions League. One of the things is to buy a player like Stiller. Stiller has been one of the players in terms of the statistics on forward passes. He makes more forward passes than Baliba. He makes more forward passes than Wharton. He's also good defensively. So if you can have a player who can have that balance of defensive and attacking output, then we are in a good place to improve on this team. Hopefully you can get 2 signings, at least 2 signings in January. January is usually a seller's market. You don't get enough chances to buy players, but we can also try and get 1 good player. The other player that you are linked with is Conor Gallagher. He's a short-term fix, and if he can play well until the end of the season, then he can remain to be part of the midfield, because players like Casemiro will be leaving. Casemiro has also been playing very well, but based on his body, he can't play that many games, and you don't know how he'll do in the tail end of this season. So there comes a time when you are playing well, and then there are going to be periods where his body is going to feel the exertion of the number of games he's playing at the start of the season. So you need a good replacement. So that is the news. You can see the only positive news coming out of the club in terms of Lisandro, in terms of the manager of the month, the player of the month nominations. Also, Stiller is a good option that we are being linked with. Jason Wilcox spoke well. And it's the kind of things we want to hear, which shows the team is going in a good direction. The recruitment team understands the team. And like the previous management where we had Woodward, Moto, who never really had a grasp of what Man United is, Wilcox appears to know what Man United needs, and you can see the evidence in the types of players that have been signed and the impact they have had this season. If you have 4 other players that can go straight into the first team, then you can have a good first team, and we have a good general squad to depend on when you need to make the changes, not making 2 to 3 changes and then the game changes to the favor of the opposition. So hopefully we'll continue understanding what news come to you and bringing them to you. So you can like this video if you are interested in such news. You can also subscribe in terms of we discuss match day reviews, match day previews, anything to do with Man United. It's good to be ahead, and we can also share your comments and what you want to see, what you'd like to improve, if there's anything that you like about the video, and hopefully we can keep the conversation going. So see you in the next one.